Welcome to Catherine's tutorial. In this video, we'll learn about DNA replication. What is DNA? DNA is genetic material which carries information from parent to the offspring. It stores genetic information and this is genetic material in most of the organism. Some organisms have RNA as genetic material, but most of the organisms possess DNA as genetic material. And today we are going to learn about DNA replication. What is DNA replication? How DNA multiplies in number. They multiply in number by means of duplicating their own copies, or they produce exact copies of their own by means of a process known as DNA replication. So when the DNA replication will occur? The DNA replication occurs during the S phase of the cell cycle, that is the synthesis phase of the cell cycle. So during that phase the DNA copies are made, that is the replication is done. How the DNA replicates, how it produces the copies of another DNA strand. It is done by a method known as semi-conservative replication. So what is the meaning of semi-conservative replication? So here the parental strands are going to divide and the new strands are formed. This strand is known as parental strand and this strand is a newly synthesized strand which is also known as daughter strand. This is how the DNA replicates by means of a method known as semi-conservative replication method. This method was proposed by Watson and Crick. This method was proposed by Watson and Crick, and this method was experimentally proved by Meselson and Stale. Meselson and Stale, they experimentally proved that DNA replicates by semi-conservative method. So how DNA replicates? It looks very simple, where the parent DNA divides into daughter strands, but actually the process is very complex process where it uses nearly 20 different types of proteins or enzymes. So 20 different types of proteins or enzymes are used in the process of replication. So these 20 different proteins complex is known as replisome, and this was identified by Arthur Kornberg. Arthur Kornberg only identified that there are nearly 20 different type of enzymes are taking care of the process of replication, and these group of proteins or enzymes together they are known as replisomes. Now we'll just see about the replisomes or the enzymes one by one. We are not going to learn about all 20 different type of enzyme. We are going to learn about some important enzyme that takes care of the process known as replication or DNA replication. The first enzyme what we are going to learn is about enzyme helicase. Enzyme helicase is also known as DNA helicase. DNA helicase, or it is also known as helix stabilizing enzyme. So this helicase to copy the DNA. If I want to copy the DNA, so the nucleotides from the parental strand, these two strands should get separated where I can able to copy in the daughter strand. So what happens here? This is the double stranded DNA structure. The enzyme helicase goes and attached with the multiple sides of the DNA. As the human DNA is about 2.2 meter in length, the complete DNA is not going to unwind. Instead, some regions of the DNA get unwind with the help of an enzyme known as helicase. Okay, so where we have multiple sites for replication. So multiple sites you can able to find. So in all these multiple sites you can able to find the enzyme helicase. What this helicase enzyme will do? This helicase enzyme will unwind the DNA strands. Imagine the helicase enzyme is present here. From here you can able to unwind the DNA segment. It helps in unwinding the DNA segment to copy the nucleotides on the newly synthesized strand. So the enzyme helicase will help in separating the two DNA strands for copying the nucleotides on the new DNA strand. So this is the function of enzyme helicase. And one more important information, about 1% of genes in case of human being, they code for the production of helicase enzyme. The next enzyme what we are going to learn is about topoisomerases. These enzymes was identified by James C. Wang in the year 1970. He identified this topoisomerases or discovered topoisomerases. What is the function of topoisomerase enzyme? Imagine this strand has been unwound because of this enzyme helicase. These topoisomerases will break the hydrogen bonds. They break the hydrogen bonds between the nitrogenous bases. It breaks the hydrogen bonds. When we draw the DNA structure, we can able to identify how the pentose sugar and other structures are arranged. This is the pentose sugar where it is attached with the nitrogenous base, and here you can able to find a phosphate group, and here also one phosphate group, and they are attached in this way. Okay, so the 5 carbon region of one pentose sugar is attached with the 3 carbon end of an other or adjacent nucleotide that is to the pentose sugar. This is how the nucleotides are arranged. When you go over the opposite side, we can able to find the nucleotides are arranged anti-parallelly. Where you can able to find the phosphate group here and nitrogenous bases again nitrogenous bases. And here again you can able to find how the nucleotides are connected. Here it is adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine, and they are connected by hydrogen bonds. As we already know, the nucleotides present in DNA, the nucleotides are nothing but it is the pentose sugar plus phosphate group plus a nitrogenous base. This nitrogenous base may be adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine. We already know adenine will always pair with thymine, guanine will always pair with cytosine. Here you can able to find 2 hydrogen bond, here you can able to find 3 hydrogen bond between guanine and cytosine. This is a complete nucleotide where you can able to find a pentose sugar, a phosphate group and a nitrogenous base. As I have told you, it may be a guanine or it may be adenine or thymine or cytosine. Okay, so this topoisomerases has to break the hydrogen bond between the nucleotide base pair. So they have to break this bond so that they can able to separate the DNA strands easily. So the function of topoisomerase is nothing but they have to break the hydrogen bond. They have to relieve the tension between the strands. The other function is they have to relieve the tension between the strands. Between the 2 strands has been relieved by means of topoisomerases. So that is a function of topoisomerase. The next enzyme what we are going to learn is about single-stranded binding proteins. So what are these single-stranded binding proteins? These are nothing but when these strands get separated, when DNA gets separated, to hold them or to avoid them not to be coiled again or to avoid the recoiling of DNA, there will be single-stranded proteins will be holding this DNA strand not to be coiled again. So these proteins are known as single-stranded binding protein. These binding proteins will hold the strands of DNA not to allow them to recoil again. So that is a function of single-stranded binding protein, or it is also known as single-stranded binding enzyme. So this will make sure that the DNA strands get separated. Okay, it is not going to coil again. The important enzyme what you are going to learn is about DNA polymerase. In case of eukaryotes, you can able to find 5 different types of polymerase, DNA polymerases are there. This DNA polymerase was identified by Arthur Kornberg. Arthur Kornberg, around the year 1957, he identified DNA polymerase 1. The next type is DNA polymerase 2. It was identified by Thomas Kornberg. Thomas Kornberg is the son of Arthur Kornberg. DNA polymerase 3 was identified in the year 1970s. DNA polymerase 4 and 5 was identified in the year 1999. So these are the 5 different type of polymerases. Now we'll just see the function of these polymerases one by one. DNA polymerase is to add the nucleotides. Adding the nucleotides from 5' to 3' direction. Okay, so before knowing about replication, we should know about the direction of this DNA replication. While learning about DNA, if you take one strand of DNA, the other strand is here. This strand will be from 5' to 3' direction. This is from 3' to 5' direction. Okay, so these two strands are separated. This is separated DNA strand. This one, when we see the arrangement of nucleotides, these are arranged in this way. So again, phosphate group, how it has been connected. Here you can able to find nitrogenous bases, and it is in opposite direction. Again, nitrogenous base, a phosphate group, it has been attached here. Okay, again double bond, triple bond, double bond. So here, the 5th carbon, this particular region, okay, where we number the pentose sugar as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 5th carbon position. This 5th carbon position is free, where we can denote the strand from 5' direction. This is 3'N, where we can able to find the hydroxyl group. So one strand runs from 5' to the 3'. The other strand is in opposite direction, where you can able to find the 3rd region, that is hydroxyl. 3rd carbon position, hydroxyl is on this side, and you can able to find 5th carbon position, that is phosphate group, towards this side. So the other strand runs on the 3' direction to the 5' direction. So this is known as anti-parallel. The polarity of this strands are totally different. If one strand runs the direction of 5 to 3, the other strand will run the direction between 3' to 5'. This DNA polymerase will add the nucleotides from 5' to 3' end. Imagine this is one strand of DNA. If you want to make or copy the nucleotides on the other strand, so imagine it is a nucleotide. It is nothing but A, T, G, C. We have to copy in another strand, that is a new daughter strand, by means of replication process. Imagine this is another strand which is copying the information, that is going to form the nucleotides here. This particular strand, that is daughter strand, will start from 5' to 3' direction. So you can able to find the polarity. So when one strand runs from 3' to 5, the other strand, that is a new strand, will just run from the 5' direction to the 3' direction. That is, in this direction only the nucleotides are added up in case of or with the help of DNA polymerase enzyme during replication process. Imagine it is another strand of daughter strand or another new strand, where you can able to find this runs from 5' to 3' direction. Here you can able to find the 5' end. So the opposite prime is prime direction, where you can able to find 3'. Here it is 5', where you can able to copy the nucleotide, that is a base pair from the parent strand to the daughter strand. So the DNA polymerase will add the nucleotides. Here in case of this strand, the nucleotides are added in this direction. Here in this case of the lower strand, it is added in this direction. So it is adding from 5' to 3' direction. In this way, the nucleotides are getting added up. So it is added up from this region, and here it is added up from this region. So you can able to find the difference. So this DNA polymerase will add the nucleotides from 5 prime to 3 prime end. So in this strand the nucleotides are added up in this direction, the other strand where they get nucleotide in the opposite polarity. So DNA polymerase 1 will arrange the nucleotides or will attach the nucleotides from DNA polymerase 1 will add the nucleotides from the 5' direction to the 3' direction. Okay, and the next function done by the DNA polymerase is nothing but they remove the removal of mismatch pairs will be done with the help of DNA polymerase 1. So this removal of the pair or removal of the mismatch nucleotide pairs or the wrong pairs will happen from 5 direction to 3 direction, 3 to 5 prime direction. In both the direction, this DNA polymerase 1 can able to remove the wrong pairs or mismatched pairs from the newly synthesized DNA strand. So that is a function of DNA polymerase 1. DNA polymerase 2 also does the function of adding the nucleotides. So the DNA polymerase 2 will also does the function of adding the nucleotide to the newly synthesized strand from 5' direction to the 3' direction. The next comes the major enzyme known as DNA polymerase 3. This DNA polymerase 3 plays a primary role, that is adding the nucleotides will be done only with the help of DNA polymerase 3 and also DNA polymerase 1. Even though DNA polymerase 1 and 2 they can able to add the nucleotide with the DNA strand, but the major function these are known as accessory DNA polymerase 1, DNA polymerase 2. 1 and 2 are known as accessory enzyme, but the major function, that is adding the nucleotides, will be completely done by the DNA polymerase 3. That is a primary role done by DNA polymerase 3. It is made up of nearly 10 to 20 subunits. It has nearly 10 to 20 subunits, and this DNA polymerase 3 is also known as replicase. This DNA polymerase 3 is also known as replicase. When we compare all these three, DNA polymerase 1, DNA polymerase 2 and DNA polymerase 3, these three enzymes will add the nucleotide from 5' direction to the 3' direction. Among these three enzymes, DNA polymerase 1 removes the mismatched pairs or wrong pairs in both directions. In both directions, they go for a process known as proofreading. They just check the strand for the mismatched pairs or the wrong pairs in the DNA. Okay, that is done by the DNA polymerase 1. DNA polymerase 2 will add the nucleotides on the 5' to 3' direction. DNA polymerase 3 does the most of the function by adding the nucleotides. Even though they involve in adding nucleotide to the DNA strand, they are considered as accessory enzyme, but the major function of adding the nucleotide is done by the DNA polymerase 3. It is made up of nearly 10 to 20 subunits, and this enzyme is also known as replicase. So to synthesize a new DNA strand, we need some sequences of RNA that is known as RNA primer. It is nothing but a short sequence of RNA. We need this short sequence of RNA to initiate the process or the further extending of or adding of nucleotide to the newly synthesized DNA strand. As we already know, the addition of nucleotides from 3' to 5' end. So the other strand will be in the directionality of 3 to 5'. Okay, it is a 3'. So where we have a short sequence of RNA, that is nothing but RNA primer. So based on that, the new strand is formed by copying the information from the parental strand and adding nucleotide with the help of DNA polymerase enzyme. Here the strands are formed in the opposite direction, where we can able to find 5' direction here. The strand will be formed, which will be here, will contain 3' here, and this is 5' end of the other strand. So this strand will be formed discontinuously, and we'll learn about this discontinuous strand when we go with the next part of this replication. So the other side, the DNA polymerase can able to synthesize the strand on both the direction. In this direction, in the strand, the other strand will produce the daughter strand by this direction. So the DNA polymerase 3 can able to synthesize a new strand or can able to add nucleotides on both the direction in case of replication. Okay, primase enzyme is very essential for adding the nucleotide or to start the process of replication. The next group of enzyme what you are going to learn is about exonucleases. These exonucleases will do a process of proofreading. When these strands are formed, okay, so the particular strand which will be formed in the opposite direction will not be continuous. So these are into fragments. So these fragments are joined with the help of an enzyme known as DNA ligase. DNA ligase, and these gaps are filled by DNA polymerase. So these are discontinuous strands. So these gaps are filled by the DNA nucleotide by means of DNA polymerase enzyme. This enzyme will fill the gap between the strands. So this function is done by the DNA polymerase, and ligating them or attaching them will be with the help of DNA ligase enzyme. So ligation is done by DNA ligase enzyme. So exonucleases removes this RNA primer, because we synthesize this DNA strand, we doesn't need this RNA primer, because we need RNA primer to initiate the process of replication. DNA polymerase cannot synthesize the DNA strand on their own, cannot synthesize DNA. So instead they need the help of RNA primer. Okay, when the complete strand is formed, the DNA strand should get separated from this RNA, so it falls off and the complete DNA strand will be formed here. So all this removal and addition of all these things will be done with the help of exonucleases. That is what is known as proofreading. The mismatched pairs or the wrong pairs or this RNA will be sliced off or spliced off from the newly synthesized DNA segment. So this is done by the exonucleases. So by the next video, we'll learn about the replication process in detail. Thank you.